Have you ever found yourself in a situation where you're working under a tight budget and you don't have a lot of time to go out and develop a storyboard or any kind of a previs for your client, and so you want to turn to stock footage to help that client understand a little bit better what the conception of the piece might be? Or you're working on a project that's got such a tight budget you know you can't afford to turn on a camera, so you're going to build the entire project based around stock footage. Here's a great way that you can set up that preview and set up that conceptualization for your client without you ever having to spend a dime or your client having to spend any money in the development process as well. Here's how we do it down at VAST. The first thing we're going to do is go to the ArtBeats website. And we're going to look for footage that's relevant to the particular project that we want to work in. So let's search our footage for teens. And by clicking in search, it's going to give us a number of different things that contain subject matter related to teens. Well, this is going to be an anti-drug message, and so we're going to come down here and look at Teens on the Edge. In the Teens on the Edge library, we can see several different clips. And by just cycling through the pages, we can find clips that are relevant to what it is that we're trying to portray. So for example, we're going to choose this young man right here as our main character. Let's click on View, and you'll notice that immediately a QuickTime window opens up and the file loads. Let's press the play button. And this allows us to see what that clip is going to look like. We can play it backward or forward as quickly as we'd like inside the window here. And that's really all we need to do to get an idea of what this clip is going to be like. Now we can now right-click this and choose Save as Source or Save as QuickTime Movie. You will need to have the QuickTime Pro product installed on your computer. Visit www.quicktime.com for more information about that plugin. So we can now go through and choose all of the different pieces of content that we want for our piece of media or for our story. That's all there really is to it. So now we're going to store all of those off. And let's open up our folder here that contains all of that. Okay. And here we have all of our small QuickTime movies. And again, we can double click these. This will open up a QuickTime player. And sure enough, we can see exactly what they are, complete with full motion, and we can work with them as much as we'd like. So this is the first part, is using the ArtBeats website to collect all of the different assets that you're going to need for your particular project. Of course, you're not limited to just one library. We can step back and look at some of the other pages that we'd seen, and it might be that we want to open the worship library, since in this particular case our client is a church, or maybe we're working in HD, or it might be that we're into something that's not quite as depressing as the Teens on the Edge series might portray. So here's some teen life, kids going out on dates and so forth. So it's very quick and very easy to find exactly what you want. You'll notice that these clips, as we look at them, all have a name assigned to them. In this particular case, it's called TE104, or Teens on the Edge, clip number 104. It's important that we remember that these clip names are named identically on the web page as they are in the various libraries. Let's close this down, and we'll close down our QuickTime viewer there. So now, inside of Vegas, I've assembled all of my different clips inside of my Explorer, and I've got it set up here with the different pieces of media that I'm going to use. These are all low-resolution clips, and you can see, as I play through each one, that they're 192 by 144 at 30 frames a second, and they're compressed in the Sorensen Video 3 codec. This is what we're going to use to assemble our project with. Now, in this particular case, my project needs to be a 16 by 9 project. The client would prefer it to be widescreen. So before we begin assembly of our project, we're going to open up our project video properties inside of Vegas. We're going to set it to an aspect ratio of 1.212, or DV widescreen, and then we're going to start importing clips up to the timeline. We'll just grab them out of our Explorer or out of our project media bin. So we'll just come down to our Teens on the Edge, and I've named these Teen Storyboard Proxy. We'll just drag one up here. So here's our original file. We're going to turn this to widescreen by simply opening the Pan Crop tool, right-clicking and choosing Match Output Aspect. And now we have a widescreen image. We no longer have the pillar boxing that we had. Let's restore that. You can see here the pillar box is off to the side. And once again, we're going to match our aspect. And there's our project. Now we can frame this however we'd like, and we can certainly see the framing taking place in the background. And remember, these are low resolution clips, so we're looking at low resolution proxies of what our project will eventually look like. So we can now assemble our storyboard. Let's just rewind this and have a look at what we've got going on.